Hey YouTube, thank you for joining. I'm Cameron Ponce, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my personal altcoin collection or my crypto portfolio. So what you're going to notice is everything is in a different sector. I don't like having competitors. I don't like investing in competitors. For example, if I was going to buy stock, I wouldn't buy Coke and Pepsi. I think you need to have conviction and run with it. To solidify that further, if I was betting on horses, I wouldn't bet all the horses because obviously I would win, but then I would just win what I'm losing on the other horses. So I think you need to have a decision, and you need to go with that decision with confidence. So this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. I'm an economist, so I do like to study and analyze these things, and this is what I believe in. I think it's really important this part is life advice. Just whenever you're making a decision, I think it's important to go with what you truly believe in. So for example, of course that applies to investing. So, and like for me, I do not like Chipotle, the Mexican grill. I don't like Qdoba either. I'm half Mexican. My grandma was Mexican, so she used to make, tortillas, tamales, enchiladas, Rianos, just the whole shebang. And so I'm a little spoiled. If I have Mexican food, it needs to be excellent or nothing, with the exception of Taco Bell, because they're in a different price range, so it's a different kind of thing. You can still get a taco for like $1, and that is an incredible thing, especially when you're down on your luck. Or a burrito with like 500 calories for $2. That's crazy value there. So, but yeah, so I don't believe in Chipotle just because I don't like it, and I know a lot of people like it. That's fine. They have a decent product. It's just not for me. And so it doesn't matter to me if they were the most successful food company in the world, if they bought out Taco Bell and they bought out McDonald's and they were in every single town, multiple locations, I still would not invest in Chipotle because I do not believe in the product. So that being said, I do believe in cryptocurrency. I think the whole thing's great. Immune to inflation, decentralized, privacy, just all that good stuff. I think there's a lot and technology obviously is sweeping the nation. It has been for a while. So I think to digitalize everything, especially starting with the currencies, I think that's a really good idea, and I believe in it. So that's why I'm investing. But anyway, so getting on with the portfolio, it's pretty small. Like I said, just a couple different sectors. Don't like to compete. So the first one in the portfolio is Uniswap, UNI. And the first two are kind of like a bandwagon mentality. Something else you'll notice, all of these are pretty low. They're pretty far from their all-time high, so they stand to make substantial gains. And those are kind of the things I hunt, because I don't hold a lot of things for a long time. I'm usually in and out in under a year. So for this run right now, it's September 2025 at the time of making this video. I think there will be an alt season, and these are the things that I'm getting because I stand to make a lot of money on them. So, and they all have intrinsic value. That's really important. Like I said, you have to believe in it. I don't think any of these things will disappear. And so that's why I'm banking on them, even though they're really low. But anyway, so Uniswap is the most used exchange. So, or not exchange, but like swap exchange, for the sole purpose of swapping. So yeah, they've got a good thing going, and they usually have pretty crazy gains in the alt season. So I like that. The next one is Sand. Same kind of thing, the sandbox game. Same kind of thing with the bandwagon mentality. They've got big buyers and big deals. If you look at who owns land, it's like everyone. And the deals that they get are big names, big brands, big entertainment moguls, just big. So I think they're doing good. They've got, the environment, they've got the players, they've got good things going for them. So another one is Dash. Dash, real simple. It's basically a Bitcoin substitute. It's just, decentralized money, but they are, I believe, a little bit faster, and they also have like a private mode. So if for some reason you need to send money and you don't want the whole ledger knowing where you're sending that money or who you're sending it to, then you can do that with a private mode on Dash. And yeah, the last one is, and there are two kind of exceptions that I'll go over at the end, but so the last one is Filecoin, FIL. So that's exactly what it sounds like. They store files on their network. And so in an ideal world, they will hold all of the files. They have a massive network. They built it for this purpose. That's like their goal. So like I said, in their ideal world, if they would have like hospitals and stuff onboarded onto that. And so you could just walk into a hospital and you would have like a PIN or something that identifies you. And they would have all of your records, your ID, your insurance, your social security, all that stuff. So you wouldn't have to like carry things with you. You wouldn't have to memorize things. You wouldn't have to fill out paperwork. There would be no risk of things getting lost or stolen or deleted. It would just be more secure, fast, just kind of easy, better, make everyone's lives better. And I think that's kind of the idea that's going around. Like I said, this is September 2025 at the time of making this video. So that's kind of the idea that's going around right now. It's a real popular topic with digital IDs. And I want to say, before I say this, I am a libertarian. So I'm an objective guy. I like to look at things. I think we should be more like Switzerland, just stay out of wars, have some lower taxes, and keep our social freedoms. I think that would be great and appease most people. But I did vote Trump. That was just because I think Biden's not doing it, or he wasn't doing a great job. I live in California. And to solidify this, because most people don't really understand if they don't live in an area that has like a lot of immigration. So when I went to high school and college in Indiana, and I applied for 7 jobs, and I got all 7 jobs, and including my first job, so I had no experience, and then building onto that, I had little experience, but I got all of the jobs that I applied for. And now that I live in California, I have applied for over 250 jobs, and I've gotten 0 jobs. And now I have experience and a degree on my resume. So I know it's not me. I know it's not my experience. I know it's not my resume. It's just the job market. There are external factors at play here. And so that's why I did that. Not necessarily that I'm like a hardcore Republican. I am libertarian. I think a little bit of both is good for everyone. But yeah, so the digital ID, I think they're kind of trying to do what Filecoin's trying to do. I think in essence, it's a good idea. It's just right now it's being very poorly executed. I think, if you could just have, your social security, your credit cards, your ID, your passport, just all of that stuff on digital ID, then I think that would be great. And it would help, everyone. It would make everything easier. Like I said, you don't lose things. You don't have to remember anything. It would just make it easier. But I think, to use that to like track people and, get people arrested and monitor what they're saying on their phones and stuff, that's ridiculous. That should not happen. We should fight that. But anyways, so the last things on my list are Crow, CRO, and so these last 2 aren't in my portfolio right now. But I do believe in them, and so that's just because they ran at different times, and so I'm not investing in them, at the top. I like to get things near the bottom. But Crow, the crypto.com exchange, their utility token. So obviously I think that's really important. I watched Binance go from like $15 to over 1,000. I think the same thing will happen to Crow because it's crypto.com. Like they have the name, they have the credit cards, they've got the whole shebang. And the last one is XLM, Stellar. Banking coins are really important. I kind of missed it on XRP, and I like Stellar more anyways, but yeah, and that already skyrocketed too. So if it comes back down to like 5 to 10 cents, I'll get that again. But right now I'm not in it. I'm just in UNI, Sand, Dash, and FIL. So that is my altcoin portfolio, my crypto portfolio. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. Let me know what your portfolios look like. Maybe there's a gold thing that I missed there down in the trenches. So I'd like to know that. But thank you for watching and have a good one.